when making hotel reservations, make sure you know who you're doing business with. And in this case, it is a reservation or a booking agency, and make sure that you know all the fine print that they may have. And then, if you don't get any satisfaction, please go to somebody like Getaroom dot, I mean, pissconsumer.com to have them at least fight for you, for them doing the right thing. October 14th, 2021, I made a reservation at the Quinn Hotel in New York for Thanksgiving, November the 20th to the 23rd. One thing I want to say right there is that when you make a reservation with the Quinn, you never realize that you really are not making it with the Quinn. It's in small print, apparently, somewhere it says you're making it with somebody else. And you don't know that. But anyway, within an hour of the reservation, my daughter then informed me that November the 20th, a softball tournament had been added, and therefore I needed to change it to the 21st to the 24th. I called them immediately, and the gentleman on the phone said, "That'll be no problem. Uh, we will, since you're not canceling, you're just moving it up 3 days." But he said it will be more expensive. It was, instead of it being 1470, it would be 1770 or 1768. And I told him no problem, because I thought closer to Thanksgiving is more. Later on, I found out that there's actually a rebooking fee, but that's okay. I had no problem with that either. Then the gentleman said, "Well, we'll cancel this one, and then we will, within 10 business days, we will issue you a refund." Well, that refund obviously never happened. So then I tried to call them numerous times, and it's very difficult to get a hold of anybody to talk about this. You can call that number, but it's only for reservation or canceling reservations. But you can't really talk to anybody that can handle this type of a problem. But I finally got a hold of some people. They said, "Okay, no problem. We will issue a refund." Never happened. Then I thought, well, I need to just talk to the people at the Quinn. And so I said, I'll talk to them when I get there. And I did. And I talked to the manager, and the manager said, "Yeah, I fully understand." She got on the phone, talked to somebody. The next day, she calls me up in my room, says, "It's all handled. They should be issuing you a refund." Never happened. So I said, "Okay." So then I went through some process with somebody at the hotel again, and they said, "We'll work on this for you." Well, we never had got any results from them. So the only result I got then is when Piss Consumer came out, and I posted what I posted there, and I got an immediate response from them, which was pretty amazing. So you guys must have some leverage. But it said, and I've got the piece of paper here, their email. I copied it, and it says, "Your refund in the amount of 1470.48 has been processed today. It will take 3 to 5 business days to post back to your account. Feel free to reply to this email." Well, that was February 26th. Nothing happened again. So then you can't get a hold of anybody. I finally said, because I waited, and it also says, "Feel free to respond to this email." And her last name or first name was Calpana. I responded to the email. Nobody ever contacted me back. So I finally said, "Let me contact you guys again, because you're the only ones that seem to have gotten any response out of them." So that's where we are here today. I still don't have my refund of 1470.48 since October. And I don't know what to do, because I've spent hours and hours with them, trying to get a refund, and it's just not happening. There was one time when they said, "We can't give you a refund," even though the airlines, I also had reservations for airlines. They immediately issued me a refund with Delta. But I disputed it after a while. I said, "Well, then I'll have to dispute it." And so the credit card company said, "That's fine." It was with Visa. And then after 90 days, they turned it down. So they were not paying them. And then the credit card company said, "Well, if they're not going to pay you, then we'll have to charge you." So I have been charged with that, and have never gotten a refund. So that's where we are. So my opinion is, if you want to know some opinions, it's one thing is, and I've talked to some attorneys about it. When you make a reservation with a hotel, and You click on that particular hotel, you get the beautiful rooms, you get all the rate, all the things. And when you click on and make the reservation, you actually get the feeling you're making a reservation with the hotel. And that's what I thought all that time. I made it with the Quinn. And then eventually, when you have response correspondence, it says getaroom.com. And even when I talked to somebody at the hotel, I thought it was kind of, they said, well, you need to read the small print. I'm thinking, read the small print. I made a reservation with you. But anyway, I think that's kind of deceiving, not just for me, but for anybody. Then if you make a reservation in a hotel, then the hotel which name is on there, they're the ones that should be responsible, not some other reservation agency, which you don't even know anything about. So that's one of the issues that I have. As far as getaroom.com, they talk a pretty good game. They said they're going to give you a refund. I've got the email said they're going to give me a refund. There's no refund, and that's happened like 3 times. So it's too much money just to not worry about. And I also feel like if I can't get anything done, I may have. I've already talked to some attorneys and all that, but I don't want to go that route. I just want them to honor what they said they were going to do on the email of February 26th, the latest one. Just honor that and give me my refund. So that's where we are. Well, right now, the particular solution is that I would love to get my refund like they promised they would, and they have not done that. So I kind of, I've spent numerous hours and frustration and all that and trying to get this done. And that's one thing they don't realize is that all you have to do is honor what you said you were going to do. Send me my refund and we're done. And then my other issue now is if I ever make another reservation with the hotel, no matter what hotel, I got to find out who I'm actually making a reservation with because obviously you're not making it with the hotel, you're making it with another agency, a third party. So I need to make sure that I know who I'm making the reservation with. My point now is that how many people don't realize that when they make a reservation with a hotel, they don't really make the reservation with the hotel. And I think that's a deceiving practice. And that's for everybody and seeing some of the reviews for Get a Room, I saw one time there was 423 reviews and all of them got 1 star. And a lot of the people had the same issues. They couldn't get their refunds. And I think that's the one that I finally have talked to some attorneys uh, that I said, hey, we might want to look into that because it is a deceiving practice that when you're making a reservation with a hotel, you're not really making a reservation with a hotel, and that's not right. That's just not right. If they have it that way, then say it right up front. You have now made a reservation with Getaroom.com, not with the hotel, so people know. Hey, I didn't make it with the hotel, but it doesn't show that. It doesn't show that at all. I guess my only frustration, because that's one of the things frustration is twofold. One of them is that it is very difficult to talk to anyone about the issue that you have. When you call those numbers, there's no like, one for this, two for that, three for that. There's not a number that you push for like an issue like mine or like other people may have. And so that's something they ought to change. You ought to be able to at least talk to somebody about it. But it's very difficult until you go through all kinds of hoops to finally get a hold of somebody. And so you spend quite a bit of time to finally figure out who the heck do I talk to, and they put you on from one person to the next and all that. And then, so I think that's the other thing. But I just think that people ought to be aware that who be careful who you do business with. I mean, and it's unfortunately that you don't really know that. So it's very frustrating, but it's also I think somewhat deceiving to the public. So I'd say just tell people be aware and make sure that you know all the particulars. In my case, he didn't tell me that he was going to charge me $300 rebooking fee. He just said no, it'll be 1,700 some dollars instead of $1,400. And I'm thinking, well, that's because of the one day closer to Thanksgiving. Come to find out, the lady at the Quinn said, no, they just charge you a $300 rebooking fee. Never was explained to me either. And I paid it because of the fact that I thought it was closer to the Thanksgiving. So they just need to be more upfront with people. That's all. Just be honest with people. Not don't have these practices that are very deceiving to me. That you did. I don't want to say they're dishonest because it just read the small print or you don't know who you're doing business with. I think that's just somewhat deceptive.